Hello, Vince Palamara here. And by request, I've had several requests through the last few weeks and months. People wanted me to briefly describe my 6 books, and here it goes. First one is called Survivor's Guilt, The Secret Service and the Failure to Protect President Kennedy. Came out in 2013, has done very well indeed. It sells just about every week in all those years. That's like about 11 years. It encompasses my many interviews of former Secret Service agents that protected President Kennedy. Vast majority of the agents that protected President Kennedy, and some of the agents went back to the FDR days, some of them went up to the Reagan era, so all points in between. And the bottom line of my first book, Survivor's Guilt, is conspiracy or no conspiracy, Oswald or no Oswald, if the Secret Service would have done their normal protective function, Kennedy lives. Although I do believe there's a conspiracy. Doesn't matter if it was Oswald or a conspiracy. Secret Service would have done their 1963 era protective functions, not talking about rose-colored glasses or Monday morning quarterbacking from a later era. Kennedy lives. Second book came out in 2015 called JFK from Parkland to Bethesda. And this is on the medical evidence. What I wanted to do is, my second passion when it comes to Kennedy assassination other than the Secret Service was the medical evidence, And I wanted to detail every single time one of the Parkland or Bethesda people, or all points in between, every time they said something about the wounds, what they said, how many times they said it, did they differ and whatnot, and you come across with a lot of hard evidence of a conspiracy, in my opinion, because most of the witnesses said the right rear of the head was gone, the throat wound was an entrance wound, etc. Third book came out 2017, so basically 2-year intervals. The not-so-secret service, this goes back from FDR and goes up to the Reagan era. And I'm proud of it from an information standpoint, not as proud of it as a book. Unlike the first two, it hasn't sold as well. It started out good, but kind of tapered away. Again, I think it's kind of like a mixed reaction, I guess, to that one. Fourth one, Who's Who in the Secret Service, came out in 2018, the next year. Big improvement stylistically. Very proud of this book. Kind of stiffed because people just really aren't interested in the Secret Service all that much, quite frankly. But big claim to fame is Carol Leonig, multiple Pulitzer Prize winning reporter, came with the #1 best-selling book, Zero Fail. She quotes from this, some on one page of that book. Just like, actually, even though it didn't sell as well as the first, second book, the not-so-secret service, another massive best-selling author, Gary Byrne, who came out with the #1 best-selling book, Crisis of Character by Clinton, on his follow-up book, he used my third book as a reference. But now here's a big return to form sales-wise, like the first and second book. This came out in 2021. Honest Answers About the Murder of President Kennedy, a new look at the JFK assassination. It is what it says it is. It's basically on the assassination itself. Has a little Secret Service and medical evidence, but it's about the assassination. What I believe strongly happened and did not happen. The good news is, I think we can definitely prove a conspiracy. The bad news is, to a moral and legal certainty, I don't think we're ever going to know or agree, or both, about who actually did it. And that's why this has always been so unsatisfying. For decades now, people believe there's a conspiracy, but when you say, hey, Vince, who killed Kennedy? It always kind of falls flat on the answers from myself and countless other authors and researchers, with all due respect. Too much time has passed. Too many people have passed away. It is what it is. And the 6th book, I don't have my cover on it now. If you go to Amazon, you'll see it. It's come out in October. It's called The Plot to Kill President Kennedy in Chicago. It's the first book ever on the plot to kill President Kennedy in Chicago. Other books reference like a paragraph or a few pages. Well, this is the actual full-blown book on it, and there's a lot of corroborative and interesting information. A lot of prior plots and threats to President Kennedy, so it's very hard to believe one man, Oswald, acted alone November 22nd when there was a prior major plot to kill him in Chicago just a few weeks before, and also other plots and threats between 61 and 63. So, thanks for your attention. Thanks for listening and viewing.